Anime is fucking trash!
Yo, shut the fuck up! Anime's the best, yo! Anime's the...
Hey paisanos, it's Tim the Fanboy Philosopher, bringing you the shittiest of top 10 lists on this side of the internet. You know, last time went pretty good. It was only like, about 25 minutes longer than I wanted it to be, but you know, I was happy. We were talking about stuff I liked, you know, pretty good. However, humanity received a grim reminder. The Fire Nation attacked, and we're talking about characters today. Bad characters. I'll keep this intro brief. I may spoil some things of the show I'm talking about. If it's a character, it can make this list. I don't care if it's from a movie, book, TV show, anime, video game, I don't fucking care. And lastly, if you like these characters, I don't. So without further ado, it's time to boogie woogie!
Grab your cups of beer, put 'em up, let's cheer. Here's a toast to all my soldiers who ain't here. This is it, my niggas, this what we boast about. Get your bottles, homie, post 'em out. Now grab your cups of gin, put 'em up, let's win.
Number 10.
Again, this is it, my niggas, this what we boast about.
Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. Ooh, I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. Alright, put down your pitchforks and let me explain. Alright, so there are characters that I hate more than Vegeta who didn't make the list. However, what puts Vegeta on this list is not the fact that he's my most hated, but the fact that I believe he's one of the most overrated characters ever. For the record though, at least the abridged version is a great character.
You know what? All of you better duck, because I'm about to turn left, and I don't want to smack you with my dick.
Somehow better than the original too. Not just as a parody, but as a legitimate character. Alright, like, don't get me wrong, Vegeta is like the staple of the anti-hero rival archetype. But the thing is, it's just been done better in other series. I mean, hell, look no further than Hiei from Yu Yu Hakusho. He's pretty much just a better version of Vegeta. The thing is, Vegeta defined an archetype, but that doesn't really make him a great character in my opinion. People tend to put him up on this pedestal of the ultimate badass, but he's really not.
By the end of this, you are going to be crying like a little bitch.
I mean, he has his moments, but they're few and far between. He started off as this bland villain and then became an admittedly badass strategist in the Namek saga. But I mean, after that, he just became a total bitch. He acts like a child and whines when he's not the best. Now, I'm not entirely qualified to put him on this list, given that I haven't seen all of Dragon Ball Z. But let me put it this way, I've seen 2 seasons of Dragon Ball Z, the first 2 seasons, all of Dragon Ball Z Kai, most of the movies, most of GT, and parts of the Majin Buu saga. I never did see all of the Buu saga through in order, though, but I got the general narrative. I know Vegeta has this big sacrifice scene, and I've seen it, and I wasn't really that impressed by it, but I also didn't see it in the context of watching the show scene for scene. So take what I say about Vegeta with a grain of salt. What I am saying, though, is that everything I've seen from Vegeta leads me to believe that he is a total bitch.
Shut up!
Oh my god, you actually are crying.
I'm not crying! Not!
If you're not convinced, let me just tell you everything Vegeta does in Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan. Oh, but Tim, you can't count the movies, they're not good. Ah, but you see, Broly is one of the movies that people actually consider to be good.
P.S. It's not, it's just well animated.
So what does the Prince of All Saiyans do in this movie spectacular? Well, alright, so Goku's on King Kai's planet, they're having a party or whatever, so Vegeta is just kind of doing his normal comedic sulking, and then Broly and Broly's dad come onto Earth and tell Vegeta that they found the legendary Super Saiyan, and so now Vegeta wants to fight him, and he's basically absorbed with pride. He's going to kill the legendary Super Saiyan to prove he's the best. So then Goku comes, and in typical character fashion, Vegeta doesn't want Goku to be involved, and, he wants Broly all for himself because he can take it, and, all of that, which, so far, pretty typical, pretty expected. However, then the character of Broly is revealed, and he unleashes his power level, and Vegeta doesn't even fucking fight. He just, kneels down like a bitch and says, "We can't possibly win. What are we gonna do?" And meanwhile, all the other people, including the fucking kid, are fighting Broly, taking a beating, and fighting for their life, while Vegeta just sits there like, how could this happen? He just starts fucking crying, and, oh no, it's an impossible fight. Why are you fighting? Even though impossible fights are everything Vegeta wants, so it's fucking stupid. Then Piccolo comes about and is just like, hey, stop being a bitch, and Vegeta's just like, no. And then Piccolo goes to fight, Vegeta just kind of sulks for a while, and then decides, fuck it, I'm going to fight. He starts to fight, gets his ass immediately kicked, does nothing to the fight. Then Goku is attacking Broly. He's going to do this big spirit bomb, save everyone's life, because Vegeta at this point is like, oh, I don't want to die, we're all going to die, it's a hopeless fight. So Goku is going to save everyone, but then Vegeta's like, no, I'm not giving you my power, that doesn't make any sense. You can't defeat Broly, that's not fair. And then he finally gives in like 2 seconds later, Goku kills Broly, and then they go home and Vegeta just sulks. Our badass, everybody.
When you see Vegeta, tell him I said, like a bitch.
Here comes the chin, put 'em up, let's win.
Number 9.
This is it, my niggas, this what we boast about.
Yoko Littner from Gurren Lagann. Okay, so I mentioned Yoko in my top 10 anime list, which you should totally check out. So I won't talk too much about her. Basically, she's just a bland, annoying bag of boobs who isn't even hot. I'll say a couple things about her though, just for the hell of it. I won't really touch on the points I made in that video, so just check that out if you want to hear what I have to say there. So first, she's one of those types of characters who gets mad when people act perverted in front of her, even though she dresses like a whore.
Oh, Tim, that's victim blaming, and you should kill yourself.
Listen, I'm not saying that she owes every guy she comes across sex or a feel, but getting mad at every guy who ogles at her is fucking ridiculous. Also, there's this one scene in like episode 5 where they're in a cave and the locals tell her to put on a cloak, and when she puts it on, Kamina looks under it, and underneath the cloak are the clothes she wears, just casually like normally all the time, but then she gets mad at him for peeping, and nothing about this scene makes sense! Also, in episode 2, there's this scene where Kamina's about to get killed and Simone comes in to save him, but then Yoko gets mad at Simone because he ran away like a coward.
What?
Kamina even thanks Simone later in the episode, and then Yoko says that she should pilot Lagaan because Simone ran away. Excuse me, Yoko, but Simone was just helping. What the fuck were you doing? Ya bitch. Also, as a final nail in the coffin, Yoko has the kiss of death. Every single guy she kisses in the whole fucking series dies immediately afterwards. We lost some of the greatest characters in anime because of you 14-year-old slut.
Here comes the chin, put 'em up, let's win.
Number 8.
This is it, my niggas, this what we boast about.
Korra from the Legend of Korra. Alright, so once again, I won't be spending too much time talking about her because, spoiler alert, but I have a huge-ass review of Legend of Korra coming up eventually, in which I'll be going really in-depth about every aspect of the show. So I won't talk too much about Korra because of that, but once again, I will say a few things just so, I can say something, First off, I'll say that I am not talking about Korra throughout the entirety of the series. I'm actually talking about the Korra who is in the first, second, and fourth seasons of the show. If it's not clear, I have a lot to talk about when I get to that review. But until then, Korra, for the seasons that I mentioned, she's just this brass, obnoxious, annoying, idiotic, shallow excuse for a character who suffers from Aesop's amnesia, never learning from any of her mistakes, treating all the other characters like shit, and overall being a huge cunt. I think when developing her character, the creators wanted to create the exact opposite of Aang from the original series. The problem is, though, Aang is a good character.
My nigga, you just got roasted, yo!
Oh shit, she's black.
Fuck!
Here comes the chin, put 'em up, let's win.
7.
This is it, my niggas, this what we boast about.
Princess Ruto from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Alright, so before I go ranting about the character, I feel like I need to talk about the game a little bit, because I'm never going to have another reason to talk about it again on my channel, so I might as well take care of it here. Fuck Ocarina of Time. It is a shitty game. Granted, I'm not a gamer, but I have lost many hairs over this fucking game.
Oh, Tim, you just don't like hard games. What's wrong with you?
No, I don't like bullshit. I played this game and made it all the way to the Shadow Temple and had to fucking rage quit. I'm not gonna lie, I tend to agree with the sequelitis that Egoraptor did on this, except kind of without the gamer mentality. So instead of oh, it should have been like this, I more was like, yeah, the waiting does fucking suck. Yeah, I mean, there's the waiting, then, like, you can't jump, which is fucking stupid, and it automatically jumps when you're on a ledge, and it fucking kills you. You have to wait every single fucking thing you do. Camera angles are annoying, enemies are annoying, everything is fucking annoying. The fucking water temple and the nail in the coffin is in the shadow temple, because I've made it to the boss room, and it takes me a lot of tries to get rid of a boss. And, you know, in previous temples, you could just go straight from the beginning of the temple to the boss room because they were right next to each other. With the Shadow Temple, you have to go all this way to get there. Oh, why don't you use the Hora's fucking wind thing? Oh, I did, but then you can only use it once, and then it fucking resets. And then every time you die, it gives you, like, half of your health, if even half. So you need to waste your time looking for health, looking for magic, walk all the way to the boss room on the other side of the fucking temple just to die immediately because you lose health on the way there because there's enemies fucking everywhere. You die again, you keep dying, there's no point, it fucking sucks. Anyway, on to Lady Fish Sticks. Okay, so everybody's all like, oh, Navi is the worst CPU in any video game ever. Well, those people are clearly forgetting about this bitch. Princess Ruto is one of the most unlikable characters I've ever fucking seen. She's this spoiled little brat who expects everything from you, even though you don't even fucking know her. You have to go into, like, Jabu's belly or whatever to save her, because she's just a stupid bitch who's in there, even though it's clearly dangerous, and, you know, you have to convince her to get out, and then, once you finally do that, you have to fucking escort her out, and then, if you have to drop her, which you need to do to fight, if you wait too long, she'll fucking go back. She goes beyond not being helpful to being anti-helpful. She is a burden, and a fucking annoying one at that. She's the kind of character who will expect you to do everything, bend over backwards for you, and then treat you like shit afterwards. You save her life and she's just like, oh, you couldn't have done that more smoothly? Fuck you! Just be happy that I sexually identify myself as a fish. Damn. You know, 6 kind of sounds like sex when you say it. The Friends from Big Hero 6. Oh, look, and it's on the 6th place. That's pretty cool. Who needs depth when your characters are this quirky? The Friends from Big Hero 6 are the absolute bestie best because they're quirky and fun. I swear to God, these fuckers ruined this fucking movie for me. They're the super best friends who are always by the hero's side with their quirky character traits. You have the overly safe guy, the loser guy who's into animals and is funny-wunny, the perky girl who's super nice but still kinda quirky, and then there's the bland goth girl.
I'm a teenage girl. I'd rather be anywhere than here. I'm all about long, sullen silences, followed by mean comments, followed by more silences. So what's it gonna be, huh? Long, sullen silence? Or mean comments? Go on.
You got me in a box here.
Our cringy two-dimensional traits only make us more endearing and good friends. I knew from the first scene that I saw any of these characters in, I was gonna hate them, and it delivered scene for scene after that. They have to be some of the cringiest characters I've ever seen. Every minute of screen time any of them had was absolute torture. I fucking hated it. Which sucks, because the rest of the movie is not that bad. And when I say rest of the movie, I mean, well, one part of the movie. You see, Big Hero 6 actually has one of the most impressive things I've ever seen in a Disney movie. Hell, almost even any kid's movie. When the movie's not focusing on the superhero angle, and it's just focusing on Hero dealing with his loss, meeting Baymax, it's quite impressive. This movie really got at my heartstrings during those moments. I really felt for Hero and his growth as a character. I felt the pain of him losing his brother, and then him coping with it through bonding with Baymax, and then having to let go of revenge and grow past it, you know, in a mature way, seeing his brother's wishes, but then having to let go of Baymax. Just everything about dealing with loss was outstanding. But then after every single one of those scenes, guess what? Don't worry, hero, it's your quirky friends. We're here for you and we support you every step of the way because we're friends! This movie had 3 writers, and I feel like one of the writers had this really great mature story to tell that probably altogether only took up about 20 minutes of footage, and so the other 2 writers, who were significantly less skilled, had to throw shit at the wall and see what stuck. These shitty excuses for characters felt more at home on a Nickelodeon sitcom rather than a deep and engaging Disney movie. I feel like you could have taken all of the friend characters out and replaced them with literally anything else and you would have had a better movie. So great, you ruined Big Hero 6. You should all go fuck yourself. Think about what you did, you fucking faggots. Number 5! Trixie Tang from the Fairly OddParents. So you thought that Princess Ruto was an entitled bratty bitch? Well, you're totally right, and she's probably worse than Trixie, but at least Ruto only half counts as a character. Trixie is a complete bitch. Normally in these cartoon kid shows, I can normally get into, like, the main character's crush and, you know, be like, yeah, I know what that felt like.
Are you okay, honey? You've had nothing to eat.
Don't worry, Mom. I'm a big boy. I'll be fine.
But Trixie is such an unlikable bitch that even that every time they throw up that subplot, it's just terrible. I feel like the creators of the show had some kind of vendetta against their high school crush and wanted to make her the most unlikable bitch in existence. In which case, good job.
Tell me I'm pretty!
I feel like Trixie is supposed to be a satire of the popular girl, but they just turned her bitch levels up to an 11. And every second she's on screen makes me want to permanently damage my senses. Still though, I guess in all fairness, she is just a kid, and you know, I'm sure a lot of girls who are good people now have gone through that phase where they were just kind of bratty, wanted everything, were so entitled, you know, so I guess it's kind of understandable and you can't fault her too much for that.
You won for comedy, and everybody knows that comedy is the lowest form of entertainment, next to animation.
Oh, you cunt!
With your bubblegum lifestyle, nigga, fuck you. I'm here today for fam passed away. Bodies deep 6, nigga, flesh decay. Real cats who had text to spray, babies to raise, missed them cradles, went straight to the grave. That hood life is in me, so I sip the Remy while my pockets scream gimme. Lend me your ear, I'm guaranteeing y'all feeling me. Straight from the block to the industry.